Kim Woo-bin and Shin Min are shock nation with baby news and sudden retirement. They chose love. The air inside the hospital conference room in Seoul that morning was unlike anything the entertainment press had experienced in years. A last-minute summons had gone out only hours before, with no explanation, no prepared press packets, and no hint of who might appear. Yet, by 10 a.m., the room was overflowing with reporters, photographers, and cameramen from nearly every major media outlet in South Korea. The tension was palpable. Veteran reporters whispered guesses in hushed tones. Was this the announcement of a breakup, a hidden scandal, a serious illness, or even the sudden retirement of another beloved star? Cameramen checked their lenses twice, anxiously adjusting tripods. The atmosphere felt ready to snap under the weight of speculation. And then, with no fanfare, the door opened. Kim Woo-bin entered the room alone. He looked pale, exhausted, his eyes swollen as though he had been crying for hours. His hands trembled slightly as he approached the podium. It was immediately clear that whatever he was about to say was deeply personal and devastatingly important. The shocking first announcement. For a long moment, Woo-bin stood in silence, gripping the podium as though steadying himself against a storm. His voice cracked as he finally spoke. "This morning at 8 a.m., he said, pausing to collect himself, "my world changed forever." The room went still. Some journalists instinctively leaned forward, bracing for the worst. Then Woo-bin raised his head, his eyes glistening with tears. "Shin Min gave birth to our child." The words hit the room like thunder. Audible gasps erupted. A few reporters dropped their pens. Others rose from their chairs in disbelief, as if standing might make the reality easier to absorb. For years, the couple had been one of South Korea's most admired and mysterious love stories, carefully guarded, rarely discussed openly. And now, without warning, Woo-bin had revealed not only that they were expecting but that the baby had already arrived. "They're both okay," he added softly, his trembling hands betraying relief rather than fear. The tension in the room transformed into reverence. A second wave of shock. But the surprises were not over. Woo-bin took a deep, shaky breath before continuing. "And because of that," he said, "I'm stepping away. From the industry. From the stage that made me who I am." The intake of breath across the room was collective, almost audible. Reporters looked at one another in stunned disbelief. A superstar at the height of his career, with projects lined up and international recognition growing, was announcing his retirement on the very day his child was born. "Not because I'm tired. Not because I'm broken," Woo-bin continued, his voice growing firmer. "But because I've never felt more whole. I want to be present. Truly present. I don't want to run from set to set anymore. I want to stay. With them." He then placed a small photograph on the podium, an image of a newborn wrapped snugly in a hospital blanket. Many in the room could no longer hold back tears. A raw, honest confession. There was no glamour to the moment, no perfectly styled hair, no rehearsed speech. This was not a carefully orchestrated PR stunt. It was a confession, raw and unfiltered. Kim Woo-bin was not speaking as an actor or a star, but as a man who had just become a father, as a partner overwhelmed with gratitude. For an industry where celebrity announcements are usually polished to perfection, this unvarnished honesty hit differently. It shook the entertainment world to its core precisely because it was so rare. The world reacts. Within an hour, South Korea's major news networks had switched to live coverage of the announcement. Clips from the press conference dominated international media cycles. Social media platforms buckled under the weight of hashtags. Hashtag they chose love. Hashtag Woo-bin Min a baby. Hashtag farewell to fame. Unlike typical celebrity controversies, this story carried no scandal, no shame. It was not about exposure or downfall, it was about choice. A choice so bold and so pure that it stunned the world into silence before exploding into a global chorus of admiration. Fans posted their own tributes online, photo compilations of the couple's rare public appearances, sketches of the newborn based on Woo-bin's blurry photo, and heartfelt messages thanking the pair for prioritizing love over fame. One fan account summed up the sentiment perfectly. This is not the end of their story. It's the beginning of their real one. The secret pregnancy. Even more astonishing was the revelation that Shin Min-a's pregnancy had been kept entirely private. Not a single paparazzi shot, not a single rumor had leaked. Even close colleagues were reportedly unaware. There were no baggy clothes to disguise a growing belly, no mysterious absences from public events. It had all been managed with extraordinary discretion. In an age when the private lives of celebrities are often dissected under a magnifying glass, their ability to preserve such intimacy was nothing short of remarkable. Love and silence, that was their shield. And now, joy in the open became their gift to the world. Why he walked away. Kim Woo Bin later clarified his decision in follow-up interviews. I didn't leave acting because I had to. I left because I wanted to. I've spent years racing from one project to another, always running. But when I saw her, when I saw our child, I realized I could never run that fast again. And I don't want to. Not anymore. It was a message that resonated far beyond the entertainment industry. For many, it became a reminder of what truly matters. Not fame, not wealth, but presence, family, and love. A journey marked by resilience. The poignancy of this announcement was amplified by Woo Bin's history. Years earlier, he had battled a life-threatening illness that forced him to step away from acting for treatment. Shin had stood by him steadfastly, rarely speaking publicly but always offering quiet, unwavering support. Fans who had followed their journey saw this moment as a full-circle victory. A man who once faced the possibility of losing everything was now walking away by choice, not defeat. He wasn't leaving broken, he was leaving fulfilled. Fans and media reflect. Fan communities quickly pieced together a timeline of the couple's love story. From early dating rumors to Shin Min-ah's loyalty during Woo Bin's illness, to their occasional appearances at public events where a simple glance between them spoke louder than words. These moments, once fleeting, now became part of a larger legacy. Memes, fan art, and video edits flooded platforms like Twitter and YouTube, celebrating not only the baby news but the courage it took to make such a public stand for love. One viral clip captured Woo Bin wiping away a tear at the press conference, saying, "These aren't tears of loss. They're tears of arrival." That line alone trended for days across multiple languages, translated, reshared, and engraved into the hearts of millions. Shin Min-ah's gentle words. Shortly after the announcement, a handwritten message appeared on both Kim Woo Bin's and Shin Min-ah's official fan cafes. In delicate script, Min-ah wrote, "Our family was born today. Please understand why we're choosing to walk away from the noise. There is a tiny heartbeat sleeping beside me. That is the only spotlight I will ever need now." The message crystallized everything. It was not an exit born of exhaustion, but of love so profound that it demanded space, silence, and presence. Inside the hospital. Hospital staff later recounted tender details from that morning. Woo Bin had spent hours pacing the corridor outside the delivery room, his hands clenched, whispering prayers under his breath. When the first cry of his child filled the hallway, he collapsed to his knees, sobbing openly. One nurse revealed that his only words were, "Are they okay? Is she okay?" He never even asked if it was a boy or girl at first, only about their safety. Inside the recovery room, Min-ah, exhausted but radiant, reportedly smiled when he showed her the live stream of his announcement. "You spoke for both of us," she whispered. The legacy of love. In the end, it wasn't about a farewell to acting or a shocking retirement. It was about a man and a woman choosing to step away from the stage to build a private life together. It was about reclaiming their narrative from an industry that had long demanded pieces of them. Fans left flowers outside the hospital, holding quiet vigils with banners reading, "Thank you for choosing love." For once, it wasn't frenzy or chaos outside. It was solidarity, a silent acknowledgement that sometimes the most beautiful endings happen far away from the cameras. And that may be the most powerful message of all, that true dreams are not made of red carpets or flashing lights, but of quiet hospital rooms, gentle whispers, and the steady heartbeat of a child. Conclusion. Kim Woo Bin and Shin Min-ah's announcement did more than just shock a nation. It redefined what it means to be a celebrity in Korea's relentless entertainment industry. Their story proved that stepping away is not failure, but sometimes the bravest, most beautiful act of all. They chose love, the headlines read. And in doing so, they gave their fans something more valuable than any drama, any film, any endorsement. The reminder that at the heart of every life worth living is love, family, and presence.